Good morning, Primary 6. You may have noticed that in the equations today there are some fractions. And first of all, don't panic about that because we already know our fractions. We know that the numerator, the one on the top, multiplies and the one on the bottom, the denominator, divides. So we just keep that knowledge in our head and we apply that to our equations. So I'm going to run through 3 examples. The first example is 1/5 x equals 10. Okay, we're quite lucky here because the numerator is 1, so when we multiply anything by 1 it just stays the same. The denominator is 5 and we know that the denominator divides. I like to call this the magic bridge, and I still use that term as an adult today when I'm doing my algebra. So basically what that means is if it's dividing on this side, when we take it across to the magic bridge, it changes to the opposite. So if it's a divide here, the opposite of divide is multiply. So the 5 is dividing here. If we take it across the magic bridge, it's going to multiply over here. So our next line is going to be x equals, and we put the 10 down. We take this across the magic bridge, it now multiplies. 10 times 5 is 50, so x equals 50. That's another one. The next one that I'm going to give you an example of is 1/2 of x plus 1 equals 6. Okay, so this is the trickier one, so we're going to start with this one. This is a plus 1. So when we take that over the magic bridge, the opposite of plus is minus. So our next line is going to be 1/2 of x equals the 6. We'll take the plus 1 over, and that then becomes a minus 1, which equals 5. 1/2 x equals 5. So that's us done the first part. Now we need to work on the fraction. Again, the numerator is 1, so we don't really need to bother with that. The denominator is 2, so we are dividing by 2. The opposite of division is multiplication, so when we take this over the magic bridge, it changes from divide to multiply. 5 times 2 is 10. X equals 10. The next one is quite similar to this. It is 1/5 x plus 1 equals 3. This is the easier one, so we start with this first. The opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of adding is take away. So we rewrite the 5th x equals, we bring the 3 down, and then we take this over to the other side, minus 1. So 1/5 x equals 2. We're dividing here. The numerator is 1, we can just ignore that. The denominator is 5. We divide with the denominator, so when we take it across the magic bridge, the division turns into multiplication, which would be x equals 2 multiplied by 5. So x equals 10. There's nothing new here. What we're doing is we're just using our previous knowledge of fractions and we're putting it into equations. You know this. We have done this for 5 weeks in class, and again, we don't need to worry about the numerator. Focus on the denominator, use the phrase the magic bridge, and see how you get on. You can re-watch the video to go through more of the examples, and email me if you're still struggling and you need some more. Thank you.